Father time and cash and father time, they gon' bring it till you draw that sex, money, crime, real, recognize real, so the streets on every line with real interviews with niggas that did the time, cash bringing you the fire and time keep you cool, got relationship with right, so ladies is welcome too, when you done 9 to 5 and then them kids with a grid, on that duty up quick, it's the radio mistake for that number one blog talk, G-City dog talk, start up your phone, leave remotes for them cars off, you forget the hits, and keep your seats popping with underground music to keep it cheap rocking. We got music, love, and everything real from the G across the nation. Hit against the bill when you're done for the day and get ready to unwind. Tune in, get it live. That's Sin City Live. Tune in, get it live. Sin City Live. Tune in, get it now. Sin City Live. Sin City Live. Sin City Live. Sin Live. City Live.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome to another edition of Sin City Radio. This your boy Cass, chilling with my man Father Time. Father Time, what's good? You know how we do it, man. Network politicking like we always do about this time.
What's up? What's up, Janine?
Hey, how y'all doing?
What's going on? What's going on? You know what, man?
Nothing much.
I don't know. I think I got a problem going on my end. It's just saying Facebook user. I'm not really sure who is that saying what's up, y'all, but what's happening to you anyway. So if that's the small problem that I'm gonna have today, I'm gonna need y'all to call in. That way I can tell who the hell it is.
There you go. 563-999-3059. Press 1. We'll bring you in.
Okay.
Once again, 563-999-3059. Press 1 and we'll bring you in.
There you go.
All right. I mean, we're going to pick right up on this. All right. Janine, you had something you want to talk about last week. We saved for this. So go ahead and kick it off.
Okay, well, I don't know why I be thinking about these things, but I don't know. I was just thinking about Thanksgiving and you know how the Native Americans, helped the colonists showed them how to farm the land and, with the corn and, how to grow corn and all that type of stuff. Because evidently they were not able to farm the land like they thought they could. And, they were starving, things like that. So it got me to thinking, like, what if they never helped them? Like, what if the whole idea of Thanksgiving with them helping them and them, dining together, with this big feast, what if that never happened? Do we think, like, the whole trajectory would have changed?
Definitely.
I'll tell you what's going to happen. Number one, we as a people wouldn't be here.
I agree.
We wouldn't be in America right now. It'd be totally different. We'd still be in the bush in Africa some damn way. You know what I'm saying? And the Indians would have been here by themselves.
Right. The Indians would have ran the land. What's up, Chanel? Yeah, I gotta agree with him. I agree with you, dog. The Indians would have been here, and them motherfuckers, nah, we wouldn't be here. I really don't think we'd be here at all.
We wouldn't. The Indians ain't gonna come and get us.
But yeah, the Indians knew what we was at the whole time. They ain't fucking with them.
Well, they were all about protecting. They were all about protecting the earth anyway, so they wouldn't have been, trying to, grow cotton and all that stuff and trying to, grow the economy and all. They probably wouldn't have been doing all of that.
You know what? Now that you brought that up, black people, I probably should be with the motherfucking Indians. Because if they would have never helped them motherfuckers, we would never be over here. Our enemy is the Indians, not the white folks.
Hey,
Indians fault.
I don't think we can.
Motherfucker.
I don't think we can blame the Indians for just being hospitable.
Dude, think about it, dog.
I agree with you. I agree with you, but we can't wage war on the Indians. Hell, they were just being hospitable. They ain't know they was gonna get fucked over.
Damn Indians. Mother, I've been looking at this shit wrong all these years. 400 years. That motherfucker owe us 400 years.
Well, I mean, if it's any consolation, they got fucked over too now.
Right, they got fucked over too. So I'm sure if they thought, I'm sure they didn't thought about it long and hard about things they probably should have did differently back then.
Should have beat these bitches with them tomahawks soon as they came across it with that boat. Well, I beat the fuck out they had them tomahawks. Big boy, what's happening? I mean, shouldn't have got.
Like I said, that would have changed history. History will be totally different as we know it. Totally different.
I definitely agree.
Nice to think about.
Nah,
it's something I never thought about. This ever.
They all, and I think I thought about it because it was like they always say it's one moment in your life that changed your life. You know what I mean? And that's, that happens to everybody. That one decision, that one, people can think back and there's this one decision in your life that you felt changed your life.
Or that one I fucked up moment.
You said that one what?
I fucked up moment.
Yeah, that's that moment that changed your life.
Right, I'm just saying, like, you remember Dave Chappelle was in them chains? He's like, oh, I done fucked up. he would say hi to the people on the boat. I done fucked up. Crack them bitches in the head, them tomahawks, and we would not be in this motherfucking predicament.
Right. Yeah.
Motherfuckers had TP.
And I'm not even saying that slavery wouldn't have occurred because, they were still doing, having, they called them indentured servants or things like that, even over in Europe and stuff like that. But I just think, our slavery just went a little bit farther than what it should have.
A little bit?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm talking about compared to how they were doing over there in Europe and stuff.
Them motherfuckers
Of course, they had to take ours a little farther.
Right, yeah. Crack this
America was not the first country with slaves.
You said what now?
America was not the first country with slaves.
No,
way before America started.
No, that's why I said I'm not saying slavery wouldn't have never happened because they've always had slaves. Even they just called them different things. You had the prisoners of war, you had indentured servants, you had, they still always had slavery. It's always been around.
Yeah, we would just been in a different country. That's all.
Right.
Somebody was gonna come and get us regardless. We just would have been in America. We'd have been in Europe somewhere.
Oh, what the bloody hell?
Well, and at least over there, of course they ended their slavery way earlier than they did in the U.S., but even when I was just over there, I felt so comfortable being over in France. I just did. I don't know what it was, I felt like I'm always being judged here in the United States. Like,
Shit,
you
you are.
know, I'm always being looked at. I'm always being looked at by my color. You know, I always have to be on guard. When I was over in France, I didn't feel it. I didn't feel like that. Everybody was all mixed and talking to each other and happy and hanging out, and I didn't feel judged when I was over there in Paris.
So now you finna
Would
move
you
to
live
France.
there or would you live here? That's what I'm saying. Would you rather live there or live here? Even I know you was only there for a short time, but the time
That's
that
what
you
I
was
said.
there,
The
do you
time
think
that I
you
was
could live
there,
there?
it made me want to stay there longer. Yeah, like if I could just at least do like a year over there just to travel around and. Because, you know, even if you like in one part of the country, you can get on a train and pretty much take you to Switzerland or Germany. It's so easy to get to all the other countries over there. So if I could just live over there for a year just to see how it is, I would do it. I have family that he was just like, he couldn't come back here. And he lives in Germany.
That's fucked up. Like,
He came back over here for a little while, but he was just like, like, he said, I'm going back. I don't know. I guess some places they feel we treated better or something.
motherfucker left. Wait a minute. He was born in the United States. I'm guessing he went over there for the service or something.
Well, yeah, my uncle was in the service, so yeah, he was kind of like raised over there for a few years. I mean, but he was born here.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Went over there in the service. Said, well, fuck it. I'm going to come back. Come back is like, oh, fuck this. I'd rather go live in Germany.
I mean, get this, he had came back because my uncle came back when he was in high school. So he had been living in the U.S. for a while. He just had to wait until he got old enough. He was still a kid. So when he became old enough and became an adult, he left. He just left and went back to Germany. I don't even know over there still. Like,
shit, I guess he made some friends. I hang out with this little German kid for a couple of weeks.
I guess. But he's still there.
Well, I guess we all in agreement that if the motherfuckers would never help them, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, I don't think we would have been in the U.S. Yeah. I don't think we would have been over here in no U.S. now.
Hell no. The Indians will still hide this motherfucker.
So it'd be TPs and casinos everywhere. What's up, baby?
But nah, they're not gambling their own money. They want our money. That's why they bring us over just so we can go to their casino.
Hey, well.
I don't think none of that would have even existed. Casinos and none of that unless it just, I don't know. I don't see them, because I see them as being like in those, remote places where, native people still live and they don't want no new technology coming in and they don't, those places still exist. There are some tribes that are still like that. Like, you cannot come in their area because they like, we gonna live exactly the way we've been living for the past 1,000 years or whatever.
When I was in Mexico, I visited a village. They didn't have running water, they didn't have electricity, no cell phone, none of that shit. They lived straight off the land.
Right.
Like, how the hell y'all do it? I mean, the kids and everything, they got, dude, I was tripping, man. They don't even got running water.
I gotta be crazy as hell.
survive without the internet.
Think about it. They've been living like that for generations.
Motherfucker,
Generations to generations.
you survived about 30 years without it, so you was good.
I know. See, you cut my shit off right now. I'm going to pawn so I'm gonna pay the bill. I need my shit. It's amazing, man. It's amazing. People can't live without their phone. And 30 years ago, none of this shit existed.
Mm.
There
You
was no
would be
social
surprised what
media
people
30
could
years
live
ago.
without. You would be surprised what people could live without if they never had it.
And speaking of which, that's what Denise just said. Can't miss what you ain't never had.
Right.
But we got it.
Hey, you got it down, so now you
I guarantee you.
You said what?
I guarantee you right now. I guarantee you right now. If a motherfucker cuts your phone off right now, you're gonna be doing whatever you gotta do to get that motherfucker cut back on.
I probably could get some fucking sleep.
Stop and think about it, man. Think about it. If you lose your phone in the house, you don't search until you find that phone. Hey, everything stops. Everything stops until you find that phone.
And the fucked up part, it'd probably be right in your hand. Have you ever been on the phone and be like, man, I'm serious, have you ever been on the phone and been like, man, where my motherfucking phone at?
Right, you on the phone.
And
I ain't never done that.
No, and here's the fucked up part. Now you talking about where your motherfucking phone at, and the motherfucker you talking to said, what was the last place you had it? Like what? Both of y'all crazy as cat shit.
Hey, you remember people used to call you, be like, "Hey, now I lost my phone. Call my phone for me."
Right.
They called you on their phone. You know, that was like the going joke. "Now I lost my phone, man. Call my phone for me." All right, I'm about to hang up. What? Hold on, y'all. We got a new call. Caller, what's happening? Who this?
Yo.
Yo, what up? Who this?
You know, it's truly peaceful.
What's up, dog?
Oh, what's up, bro?
What's going on with your fellas?
Chilling.
Woo! Got to meet this old velvet ass motherfucker for a bill. What's the subject of the day?
Having a history class, man.
You know what? I asked him and see how he feel about it. We're gonna let Jadine ask him.
You want me to ask him?
Yeah, you know he love when you ask him questions.
That's GMO?
Okay, think about this. If the Native Americans, now we talk about history, if the Native Americans never helped the colonists, you know, when the white colonists from England came over and they helped them with, you know, growing food and stuff and giving them food because they didn't really know how to farm the land over here. And which made me think about Thanksgiving, and that's how, you know, they say Thanksgiving came about. But think about it. What if they never helped them? They never helped them, you know, buy food, you know, get the food that they needed. They probably would have starved off because a lot of them were starving anyway and were dying while, you know, when they came over here. Do you think we would have been over here?
It'd have been less diseases over here.
I mean, what you saying is true because they did. That's how a lot of the Native Americans died, was first off by the diseases that were brought over.
We never knew pestilence until the European came over to our lands. Period.
But do you think we would have even been here?
Right, it wasn't our land.
Well, to the Indians, Native Americans, natives of this land.
Oh. But do you think us as blacks and what we have ended up over here, you think?
I would say eventually because the slave trade went on regardless of the pilgrims. The pilgrims, the Dutch did the slave trade, which is ancestors of the pilgrims. So yeah, we still would have ended up over here.
No, I don't
But
think so.
but what if they
The Indians would have never helped them.
yeah, if they'd have just started beating their ass with them tomahawks and just told them get the fuck on back across that water.
The Indians was not gonna bring us over here. Indians was not gonna make us slaves.
The Indians didn't make us slaves, but the slave trade had been going on before America was even built.
Right.
We all in agreement to that.
So regardless of us being here, we was gonna end up here one way or another. Because 9 times out of 10, the Africans was actually the slave Africans was probably actually the people who defeated the Indians. But that's unwritten history. The enslaved Africans were the ones possibly who defeated the Indians.
Possibly. So we not 100% sure.
What?
I'm not 100% sure.
How would the slaves win when they have no weapons?
You ain't gotta have weapons when you got a whole population of Mandingos coming over there with no sense of thought.
I don't give a fuck how tough you are. If he got a knife and you ain't got one, then you're probably gonna lose that fight.
But what you ain't getting me is they didn't just bring over just slaves. Technically, the Europeans brought over vices. They brought over, when I say vices, I'm talking about the codependency of addiction.
But you fell to miss the point. You got to remember, they never helped the Europeans.
Okay, we never helped the Europeans. American to be Redfoots and Cherokees. So technically, I would say we still would have ended up in it probably wouldn't be America, but we still eventually you gonna hit that water and come over here.
So you saying the Indians would have made us slaves?
I would say the Indians, no, because technically Indians are more peaceful. So I would say Indians would have made us a neighboring tribe.
Okay, so you saying we would have been over here, but just not in the capacity of a slave?
No, we would have had more jurisdiction. It probably wouldn't have been like a utopia, but not a utopia. You know how they say, if you put a certain population of people that they're going to eventually integrate into each other.
Okay,
so instead of us having,
let me ask one question about your theory. You said eventually we gonna get over here. How? I mean, even during the slave trade, it took months to get here. So how in the hell black folks is gonna get to this land?
But what you ain't getting is it was black Dutchmen. It was a few black Dutchmen. Why you think we got the race called Creole? Creoles was black Frenchmen.
Yeah,
so
but
was coming.
If the Indians ain't helping nobody, then those people they're gonna starve and die because the Indians ain't telling them how to farm the land. So how they gonna survive long enough to get us over here?
The same way. I'm not saying white people. I'm saying that educated black men knew how to navigate it. Educated black people knew how to navigate the lands anyway. Like the first Frenchman who wrote a book was black. The dude who wrote the Three Musketeers was a brother. So, like, I'm saying, don't look at it in the aspect of just the African. Like, back then, they had Asiatics, they had nomads, they had, Bakistans, they had Baxters, they had
Somebody was a black skin was gonna get over here.
Ethiopian. We would the same way we learned how to fish. A nation of people didn't learn how to hunt just because they picked up a spear. They eventually, once they start eating meat, the brain developed into something else. Evolution would have made us integrate with each other one way or another. It just would have took a little bit longer. Now, I ain't gonna say that them Caucasus Mountains, them Caucasus would have survived, but I don't know. History went a fucked up way. Only thing they saying is Indians was here. But they can't say 100% it was only Indians here.
All right.
That's just them guessing. Like, just like they say in a good book, the Great Migration, and the Ice Age, the Great Thaw, and all that other shit. That's people speculating. And honestly, if Indians was here, I refuse to believe they the only people of color that was up here. Cause a dog, you get in front of an Indian, you get in front of a Redfoot, then you get in front of a Cherokee, then you get in front of a Blackfoot, then you get in front of a Barefoot. Some of them people dark as hell.
Barefoot, Blackfoot, Redfoot.
But I'm just saying, this the Indian lineage that I learned in my bloodline. And I'm talking about old bloodline. And they was dark. Coarse hair, all that. Regardless of what we say.
Peaceful, you part Indian
regardless
too?
of what we say, we all come from the same ancestry one way or another. Some people just got different pigmentations than others from the environment they was in. But that wicked stepchild just so happened to fuck up history.
Not the wicked stepchild. Well, there you go, Tom.
That's my opinion.
You say you're not buying it. Well, I mean,
I disagree with everything. I disagree with all of that, man.
Okay, you got a rebuttal to what he said?
I don't think there's no way black folks would have been here. We wasn't thinking about building no boats. None of that. Black folks was happy in Africa. The Indians was happy here. There was no way we had the mentality to build a boat and find our way here. Impossible.
Okay.
It's not going to happen.
So hold on. Let me make sure I got this right. You were saying that the black man wasn't intelligent enough to find their way here if they wanted to build a boat to find their way here from Africa.
I don't think that's what he's saying. I think he's more saying we were content where we were. Africa was about, family traditions and stuff like that. Why would we weren't trying to, I guess he's trying to say, we weren't the explorers. We weren't the ones trying to, okay, we need to go over here and take this over, or we need to go over here and take this over.
Hey, Claude, he a grown man. Let him talk.
He hit it right on the head. He hit it right on the head. We was happy in the motherfucking bus.
Okay, well, I mean, that's all you have to say.
From let me finish. We was traveling in our own land. We wasn't looking to conquer no other land.
Okay, okay, I hear what you said, and I understand it. But Denise say you're always gonna have that curious one. So you don't think nobody would have got curious enough to say, you know what, I want to charter these waters to see where it takes me and see what I can find.
I don't think so.
Okay. So let me ask you
Damn.
this. Let me ask you this, Father Time.
Everybody just wants to be lazy and watch baseball, huh?
Let me ask this question. When you say blacks, our people, our generation of people didn't even exist. Our race of people really didn't even exist.
I'm talking about Africans, man.
Okay, yeah, I understand that, but the remote African that you talking about may have came from a slave tip, but 9 times out of 10, what I'm saying is some of our ancestries weren't slaves.
Right.
We just get that depiction on American history. Like if somebody was to actually do a genealogy of like a population, say the population of Gary, Indiana, of strictly African American people, technically labeled African American people. What if you found out your first chromosome of ancestry was English Saxon?
I'm gonna start putting that shit down on job applications.
What if you actually went and found out that that a large portion of your genetic makeup was English Saxon or Lithuanian European?
I'm putting it down for my job application.
So
that will fuck your whole understanding up because you've been told that you was a black man your whole life. Wouldn't.
Well, that's apples and that's apples. There's no way. There is no way.
But that's the reason why. But that's the reason why the United States doesn't give our race reparations, because there is no exact distinct bloodline to give us a nationality.
Well, they gave us a nationality, didn't they? African American.
African American is not a nationality.
That in their eyes it is. Shit.
No, it ain't, because if African American was a nationality, you would be considered a minority. You consider the United States citizen because everybody's born with a birth certificate and a social security number.
Okay.
That is non-negotiable.
Not non-negotiable.
Now you just so happen to be born and grow up your whole life and be homeschooled and all that, and ain't no track of birth, your birth. How you gonna find employment? So all I'm saying is, a lot of people be told they black, but 9 times out of 10, when some of our ancestors came over here and was raped by that Caucasian, what's his name, Jefferson was doing when his bed went, kids so happened to inherit they half of the cemetery, but the white family didn't. Technically, them that black side of his genealogy is white.
What?
Real shit. They white.
Yeah.
Because you're supposed to take the nationality of your father. Only our race don't get that privilege. Real talk.
Well, you know what, and that's true. But and I heard. I'm just saying. I mean, I remember when I was younger. I remember I asked that question, like, well, why is it that if I'm like, I remember being like in the first or second grade, and I said, well, if my mother's black and my father's white, and he's like, you're still black. And I was like, okay, so what if my daddy black and my mother's white? You're still black. I'm like, wow, how does this work? And I remember it was a white teacher, Miss Miller. I ain't gonna never forget her name. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. All right, I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, because I'm like, man, so wait a minute. They was telling us that what, like you said, whatever your father was, that's what you was considered. Except if you was black. If you was black, it don't matter if your mama or daddy. And she told me, I'll never forget, she said, well, y'all have the dominant gene. Black people have a dominant gene. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's
No matter what.
That's why they don't want the races to mix.
No,
that's exactly right.
That's why they try to
you mix it enough, it ain't gonna be no white race.
Hey.
No white race, probably.
Hey, I'm a firm believer of black people should date black people. I'm a firm believer.
Are you serious?
I'm sure. Yeah, he
I am
said
so
it before.
serious, man.
I remember he said it before.
Black people should date black people.
Okay, all right. So I mean, why do you say that?
I just feel that we should stick to our own race. I think all races should date within their own race. I'm not.
Wow.
I mean, hey, it might be caveman thinking or whatever.
Nah, I'm not gonna quite call it caveman thinking.
Black people should date black people. White people should date white people. It should be no mix.
Well, I mean, yeah, dude, you can't help who you love.
Yeah, you can't. Don't talk to that person. You just fall in love with them.
How the fuck does that?
You can't fall in love with somebody you never talked to.
Dog, you can't. So, in other words, well, you pretty much saying, let's put all the black people together, put all the white people together.
Right, yeah, you talking about.
Okay, Ruckus, I get you now.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that the races can't get along. I'm just saying they shouldn't date.
Okay, so how do you? That's what I'm saying. How can you? If I'm intertwining with these people, if I'm intertwining with these people, I mean, how do you can't tell me which way my feelings is going? I could just see this woman, and this woman just happen to be a white woman, but she's speaking to me in an eloquent manner, and she's making me feel good about myself. And I wind up like, I like her. So you saying I'm wrong for that?
You see what they did to Emmett Till?
No, nobody is wrong for nothing they do. All I'm saying is,
I hear you, Ruckus.
Believe people should date within their own race. I don't believe you should be making mixed babies and all of that stuff. I don't believe.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Oh shit.
Here we go.
Well, we already mixed, so it don't. We not just making mixed baby. We already mixed. You mixed. I'm mixed. We all mixed already.
Now, I got.
So if everybody thought like I thought, we wouldn't be mixed.
Everybody thought like you thought, we still be slaves.
Right. I got that. I'm just saying, man. Me personally, I just think people should date with I think the agents should date the agents. White people date white people, black people. Ain't nothing wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with a black woman. Nothing.
It's
Ain't
not.
nothing wrong with a black woman. Now listen to me. Hold on, let me finish. The same shit motherfuckers talk about when it comes to black women. Guess what? The white women do it. The Asian women do it. They all do the same shit. You can't tell me, oh, well, I'm not gonna date a black woman because they always that attitude. They always think they always. Well, guess what? White women are too. Asian women are too. Mexican women are too.
I mean, I'm not. What's your point?
My point is, you should only date within your race. Because every complaint, I'm talking about, let's say a black man. Every complaint a black man have about a black woman, you don't get that same shit from a white woman, from an Asian woman, but you ain't saying that about them. You saying, oh, I ain't gonna never date a black woman, and you black. What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, what though? The white women don't curse?
I mean, I'm just. I feel like you gotta. It's your God-given right to date whoever you want to.
Right. And you can flip that. It's my God right to feel the way I feel about it.
Ruckus, you can feel it. I'm not stopping you.
Okay, let me ask you this. Have you ever smashed a yellow bone for all the time?
Yeah.
That's a mixed baby.
Well, hold on. We got a new call. Caller, what's happening? Who is?
Hey, what's up, Cameron? It's Chill, man.
What's happening, Chill?
You got it, man. I had to call for this one, man.
What's going on, Chill?
You know,
bro, you got the flow.
What's up, fam? Now, Tama, because of the current climate, I kind of get what you're coming from, but like my man said, you can't pigeonhole who you fall in love with. And what I had said in the quote earlier is that everybody on this planet Earth has a black gene in them. So, and the only reason that society feel the way they feel now about black people is because if you look at the Bible, the Quran, and any of them other texts, it'll show you when every race starts diverging away from the black race. And their whole motivation and scheme is, like you said earlier, those recessive genes, which make up the white race, Chinese, and all other different races, they will eventually die out, whereas our race is going to continue to reproduce. That's why they set up the all the birth controls, all the jails, all the stuff they doing to us to stop us from reproducing. But at the end of the day, everybody on the planet Earth is black. It's just they genes got recessive somewhere down the line.
Okay, I'm gonna ask all y'all a question. Okay. Actually, people, you're the first. No. Guys, you was the first one to say it. So let me ask you this. You and Chill both just said you can't help who you fall in love with, right?
Yeah.
Right, both of y'all said that, right?
Yeah.
So this is my thing. If you never talk to that person, how could you fall in love with them?
I mean, how can okay?
How can I fall?
Hold
on. Let me finish. Let me finish my point, man. Then you can rebut. But if I never talk to this white woman, how can I fall in love with that white woman, or that Asian woman, or the Mexican woman? If I never ever said a word to her, mind my own business, and stuff to black girls,
what up, Law?
how can I fall in love with her?
Can I rebuttal now?
So you can't control who you. I'm just saying you can't control who you fall in love with.
No. Okay. So you mean to tell me if I'm if I'm at my workplace and there's Asian people working there, There's black people working there. There's white people working there. There's Chinese people working there. There's Latino people working there. I'm supposed to walk, and I'm not supposed to socialize with these people at all. How's that possible? How can we even go to work? How can we even go to the store? How can we even? That's not possible. Unless you want to sit there and say, okay, let all the niggas go over here, all the white people go over here. You want to do that on rocky shit. Other than that, you can't stop it. Segregation. That's why I said, unless you want to do segregation, I mean, how the fuck can you not? How can I not talk to this person?
I don't know, but I can. Now, Tam, I ain't gonna lie to you, fam. I didn't talk to a few white chicks, you know what I'm saying? And the race issue has came up, and because of the race issue, you know, I ended up backing them off of it. You know, and it wasn't nothing that they did per se. It was something that, you know, might have been through the families or other things, or my family for the most part was my family. You feel me? But at the same time, I do get where you're coming from, Cameron, because I do believe that we do as a black race, because of the way things go, we do need to make ourselves stronger. Because right now, we are the race with the least amount of people in it. I mean, not worldwide, but as far as blacks in America, we are the least amount of people in this country. But at the same time, when you start talking to them people and kicking it with them, it's stuff happens. And you know, the Bible tells us not to mingle with them people, but it wasn't because just a race, it was because of how they worship the Most High.
All right, so chill. Let me ask you.
Then we should be intermingling more. Then, if that's what y'all saying, that we're the less, you know, we're the least in the population wise. Then why don't we mingle more? Why wouldn't we just mingle more?
Since we do have
the whole world.
Since we had the most dominant gene. I mean, because if you get a baby by us, you consider black anyway. So.
Right.
All right, so I guess Chill and Cass, I guess y'all sitting around talking about,
hey, where are the white women at?
Well, you know, both of my sons are with, you know, one of my sons has a baby with a Mexican woman, and my one son has a baby with a white woman. And so, you know, that's just like saying, like, what? I'm not supposed to love my grandchild because they mix? Or, you know, I'm not supposed to mingle with them because, he just went over here and got with this white woman, so I'm not going to do that. Hell, we all mix.
I'm not saying you should do that. I'm not saying you should do that. Okay, let's get that established now. I'm just going off of my particular beliefs.
Now, Sam, I ain't gonna lie. I want to build us up. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to take more. Well, we got to stop doing this, tuning each other off and having abortions and all that other stuff. You feel me? And not only that, but falling for the script that they throwing at us. At the same time, man, there's some bad ones out there, fam. And you run into it. And your human nature going to take over. Now, like I said, when I was with them little white chicks, I seen some things, and it wasn't the same soul. It wasn't the same, you know. And it was like, man, you know, can I really do this for too long? You see what I'm saying? So you do have that thought process in the back of your mind, and you go, and like I said, my family just wasn't going.
This is my
so
opinion.
you saying your family was against it?
Of course. Man, my aunties, you know, they all AKAs, and you know, my grandma and them, you know, especially my mama, she was blacker than black. They was against it, but I do know if I would have brought a person around would have had a child, just like those girls saying, they gonna love their grandchild, regardless of what, you know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, not unfortunately, but even a lot of white people that's been straight up racist when they have a mixed grandchild, they love them grandbabies. Not all of them, but the majority of them love them grandbabies. And that be the barrier that stop all that stuff. Once they start having grandbabies by some of them, it's like, man, that's my grandbaby, that's my blood, that's my baby.
So with that being said, with that being said, chill,
But that's
shouldn't that mean
also
shouldn't that tell us to be more fruitful with other nationalities? Because like I said, once the baby's here, the baby's gonna be considered black anyway.
Right.
and that's exactly why they trying to stop. That's what people don't understand. They trying to keep us apart, and we fall right into it. We fall right with them. Like, oh yeah, we need to stay apart. We don't like them. We hate them, and all this and that. And all we if we trying to help ourselves, then we need to intermingle more. I say the whole world just mingle. The whole world needs to mingle with one another. Because at the end of the day, what we're gonna get is not even one race. It's just gonna be, we all gonna just be a mixed nation.
Well, you know what? And even okay, to just go back what she'll say, we try to build our population up. All right. So what I mean, do our population gotta look one way?
Right.
And that's the beauty of our population. We look 1,000 different ways.
Right, because
A black woman, if they can have a black woman can have everything from a white looking baby to the blackest blue baby.
right.
That's how all these different races got here from a black woman.
I'm not disputing that. All I'm saying is that I'm asking the question is if we want to build our race, if we want to build our race up, like you said, I mean that thing it shouldn't matter if I get Roniqua or Susie pregnant because they still gonna be considered black babies, and they gonna be if I have a baby by Roniqua, Laquita, and Susan. If I had three boys, they're gonna be three black men.
You know what? And you're right. But like I was saying, the only thing gonna be the problem of just looking at the sociological part of it within the black race. That mixed child ain't gonna get the same love in that black race because they're gonna feel like, oh, look at that old, she thinks she better than me, or that, and the mixed child gonna feel like,
Now, but not chill. And that's then shouldn't that be the part that we trying to get rid of? Because at the end of the day,
that's the part that we got to work on as a people.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Because at the end of the day, you're not gonna feel like your child is any less than a black person than you are, right?
No.
Man, my girl is light bright, damn near white. And to this day, she still be having issues. When she's 50-some years old, she still be having issues with the light skin, the dark skin, the paradigm. You see what I'm saying?
And I understand that, and I understand that wholeheartedly. But I'm saying that's the part that as a race, that's the part that we need to work on. Not just stand amongst each other, just stand amongst the black people populating each other, but having it to a point where we say, okay, this is, don't judge this kid by the color of his skin, because if he's black, he's black.
Martin Luther King's dream. That's what y'all saying, right? Martin Luther King's dream, right?
Dream, nightmare, whatever you want to call it.
All right, this is where the problem come in at, in my opinion, with people. Everybody grew up with that. I can't say everybody, but I'm an 80s baby. And I'm bear witness to family colorism.
Right.
As in, it's cool to be cool, but I end up being a military brat later on in my life. So, I was around the bunch. I'm gonna tell you this. My eyes ain't prejudiced. My masculinity ain't prejudiced. But my meat ain't attracted to the other pink. eat flesh. I'm attracted to them, but I just couldn't do that. That's just something personal with me. But I believe that's that problem came from me listening to my aunties telling me, "Don't you bring no white woman to this house."
Right.
Okay, I can
You feel
understand
me?
that.
Like, and that shit, and on some sad shit, that shit is really hardwired in our kids, in the men in our race for black men. Like, don't you fuck if you ain't happy with a sister? I feel you got a choice to make. Not saying that hey, it is what it is. The baby's still gonna be black because you black. But it's your job as the parent to build your kid's self-esteem so high to deal with the complications of what you and this other woman did. Cause on some real shit, you know your coach is just like she know her coach.
Okay.
But you really need to explain that it's ignorant people out here that might not accept you because you Milano is the term that they used to use in my house.
Yeah, and you know what? Now Denise make a point. I hear what you saying, peaceful, but you gotta and like Denise said, it's a lot different from our parents and our grandparents from till now. The whole thing, I mean, it ain't over with, but it didn't change. Tremendously.
And that's why they trying so hard to bring this whole racial thing and build it back up. Because a lot of the white population has started to, with hip hop, with a lot of stuff that's going on in the black community, the white, all nationalities have started to, converge more with the black culture. So it's like they trying their best now to bring it back again. Oh no, fuck this, we got to separate again. They doing too much. But I think it needs to grow even further. Just let it grow, because the more we let it grow, the more we're going to start eliminate those older generations and even some of the younger ones that, still got that mindset.
But you want to know one group of people you ain't going to infiltrate? I don't give a shit how black and suave and motherfucking charming your brother is. You ain't going to fuck with them Jews. They ain't letting you in. That's a members only club. And I'm talking about that.
It's black Jews. What do you mean?
No, I'm talking about Adolf Jews, Holocaust Jews, family members that went through the struggle. They don't play that shit.
And and it's messed up, but they not even real Jews. We are. They are Ashkenazi Jews. They are Israelis. They are from the Caucasus Mountains. They're not, that's what the difference is. And that's why everybody hates African Americans and those in Haiti and all them other spots, because we are the ones in the Bible and the Quran they're talking about. And that's why every race on this planet Earth, regardless of how you look at it, regardless of how much you want to mingle, they look at us as we are, because they're not us, so they hate us. But they want to be us.
The lost tribe of Judah is Shabbat.
Yeah.
The lost kingdom of Shabbat. But you want to know something about that, brother? That you bring it up? And y'all gonna be crazy when I tell y'all this shit. Have y'all ever translated Adolf Hitler's speech in English?
Yeah.
Nah.
At one point, yeah.
How you talk about they're not the real Jews?
Listen, Adolf Hitler was damn near a fucking white Malcolm X.
Yeah.
Bullshit you not. Bullshit.
I can see that. I can actually see that.
And they made sure they painted that motherfucker in the most hatred of hate. If you go back, if you can find it still on YouTube, but you see an English translation of Adolf Hitler, he was talking some real fucking spiel. Some real
Black
steel.
committed genocide?
He did because he wanted to commit genocide.
He
He was
did
not
commit genocide.
Listen. Erase the image of Adolf Hitler in your head. Fuck what what America indoctrinated it to be. And actually, I ain't saying side with Adolf Hitler but if you listen to his message like a fucking politician going for president, back then he had some strong ass fucking points. And everything that man said.
This man killed millions of people because they was Jewish.
He killed millions of white
What are
folks.
you talking about?
Listen. Okay, so how many millions of brothers did America kill? And they got their own fucking holiday.
He had millions of people killed on his word. His word alone. Not the country.
Nigga, they had a law that said kill
alone.
you just because you said I don't agree.
What? Huh?
And you know,
Man.
what, man? What you saying has validity, but he also killed black Jews as well. There was black people. What people fail to realize, it was a lot of countries had a lot of black people that was there from the very, not the beginning, but yeah, matter of fact, most of them was there from the very beginning. And they created a lot of them countries, and they intermingled with them, a lot of them people, them Germanic tribes and them English tribes. King James was even black. The Queen of Scotland, Ireland, all of them was black back in the day. So
Well, I'm not saying agree with him. I just said listen to what he was saying in translation, and a lot of the shit that man said that was gonna come into reality came true. Everything damn that he said came true. Everything. Damn near like a fucking Nostradamus. Now, I ain't saying what he did was right, but what I'm fucking saying was when he tried to get that black vote, that's when he tried to get black people to turn on American soil, that's when he became a threat to the motherfucking USA. 'Cause he was promising our kind back, our lineage, our throne, our history. That's when they came over there and fucked him up. Matter of fact,
No,
look
he
at
fucked him up because he killed millions of people.
Look at his speech
race
at the
of people.
Olympics.
I can't even say he killed millions of people. He killed one race of people.
And so have white people.
Just one.
Okay, so what you think white people went did?
Oh, they don't get a pass neither. But I'm saying Adolf Hitler, there's nothing positive about that guy.
I'm telling you, look at just translate his speeches in English. I ain't saying follow him and go put a swastika on your motherfucking suit outfit or some shit like that. That ain't what I'm saying. I'm saying listen to the message that he was trying to put out. That's it.
And that same message that he was putting out, who does it affect? White supremacy. So you telling me to listen to the word?
That is only the image
supremacy
that they have painted of that man. I'm not saying love Whitey. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is erase the ideology of what they trying to say that man was.
He's a very complicated. He's a very complicated man, but he's only understood by his woman.
Oh shit!
Now see,
talking about his word. I'm talking about what he actually did.
Hey fam, and you know what? And Tammy, you're right. Both of y'all right. But check this out, fam. The stuff that Adolf Hitler was doing, he got that information from the doctors in Indiana, which was the eugenics program. The same program right now that they use to create Planned Parenthood and everything else that erased our seed. It's just that he did it too fast. He supposed to took the time and did it. It was supposed to happen over generations, and he said, "Why wait? Let's do it now."
That's what made his Blitz decree. His Blitz decree is what you're talking about.
Right. But what I'm saying is, everything he learned, that's what I'm saying, both of y'all are right, but it's a bigger picture than that. He got his information, and he sent his doctors over here to deal with, even John Wayne was one of his, not with John Wayne, a lot of them Hollywood actors was down with the German Nazi movement. And a lot of them, and I know he did the propaganda about that black people were the original Jews in Israel. I know he did that, but at the same time, he didn't like black people neither. He killed a lot of black Jews over there. It wasn't them, but history don't talk about that. They only talk about the white part that got killed. They don't talk about all the black people that he killed. That's why he was
to balance out, to try to compensate for saying, "Hey, we was in slavery too. It was white people in slavery too."
Yeah.
100 years ain't shit like a whole country being built off your back. And I guess who got reparations? Them Jews.
Everybody on the planet got reparations but us.
Them Jews, them Jews.
Not them Jews.
Them Jews.
The Asians got reparations for World War II. The Indians got reparations. Everybody on this planet who did any kind of wrong and got their countries rebuilt up. Look how they're doing with the war right now. They bring all these Ukrainians over here and everywhere else. Oh, bring them in, bring our people in. But when Haiti had that natural disaster back to back, they hunted them down like dogs and wouldn't let them in. And they also, when they went and assassinated their president because the president started making the right moves. But ain't nobody said nothing about that no more. That's because we are the chosen ones, and them Haitians, they still follow the Old Testament thought process, and we call voodoo now. They ain't nothing but Old Testament rituals.
Okay.
They bombed the shit out of Japan and built that whole country back up.
And Japan is beautiful. I've been over there. It's way better. China, you've been over there. And you know who built it up? It's a black man. It's a white dude that came out with the program they call, what y'all do now, y'all work in the warehouse, it's called System Redesign and Six Sigma. The same dude that brought that concept out, America didn't want it. He went over there to to Japan and gave it to them, and that's how they got their stuff. And America gave them the money to build it back up.
Now chill. You know time ain't go past San Francisco.
Yes,
you know time ain't go past San Francisco.
29 pounds, motherfucker. I didn't go to Japan, no.
He said that's all place you went.
No, I've been all over the United States, but I never got to go on the float, man. I'll tell you. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Off air one day, we'll rap about it.
You missed the best part of being in the ring.
I know. Trust me, I know.
To say, I love you a long time. It's the best part of being a young man in the military.
I never got to go on float, man.
I'm
Never
sorry,
got it.
That's what my father said. That's how it was in Korea.
Woo! I've been there too. Cocaine, cocaine.
Let's say it got it all.
Man. That's why I bought the
All right, now
Damn outfit from me and Big Mike we came back with. From Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Every last one of them places y'all just named, Korea, Japan, Philippines, all the original inhabitants of them lands were black people. Even China. All of them original inhabitants, the original emperors of China was black. The original Japanese samurais, all of them was black. All of them was black. The Mongols, they was all originally black.
Yeah, it's
But because
a bunch still over there. They do them the same way. They do them the same way we get done. They push them out. They gotta stay. Even in India, that's why the darker Indians, like in India, they get, they treat them like shit too. So
they called the untouchables.
yeah.
And the ones over there is called the Negritos or the Naga. That's where they get niggas from the Nagas. And the Buddhas, the original Buddha was black. That's why they mad, because we still got our original skin tone. The blackness of the universe.
So you're bronze.
Yeah.
You're bronze. Melanated.
It's been a
Y'all
very
ever seen a black person with skin cancer?
Yeah, one of our folks had one. He passed away. He had skin cancer.
Mm-hmm.
I seen a couple black people with skin cancer.
So everybody feel like we should just be one big ass utopia, but white people on the other side of the earth.
I feel like I feel like if we gonna build our nation up, we need to build it up however which way we can, and we can't just do it with just. I mean, hell, like I say, if y'all gonna sit there and say that anything that has black blood in it is considered black, well, you know what? We're gonna build us up from every angle. And to the point where to the point that we are the dominant people once again.
So it won't, eventually, if we keep intermingling with all the different races, it won't be no other race but black.
It'll just be human.
Right, human.
Exactly.
Right. That's it.
Like it was from the beginning.
Right.
But they did a study, right? I don't know if I sent that to you, Taz, or not, man. But they did a study that by 2053, the median income of African Americans is going to be zero.
By when?
By 2053, because they're trying to phase out all these different they're trying to automate everything, and the majority of the jobs that we have as black people won't be in existence no more. That's why it's important that our children learn technology and STEM. That's what they call that STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, all this stuff. That's why it's important that if you have children or grandchildren, it's important that they learn from that angle and not just try to learn from the physical side. We always gonna be physically dominant, but they gotta learn. They gotta go back to what we always been knowing anyway, because we the one that gave all that knowledge to them. But we suppressed our knowledge, and we got to get it back, because we don't, they going to exit out the game. And that's going to be the next big thing. That's why, and remember in Asia, in Europe, when they was trying to stop all them Arabs and Africans from coming over in Europe, when they closed the borders up,
yeah,
the reason they did that, because by that same year, 2053, like we've been talking about, they said that the white population wasn't reproducing as much, and the other nationalities was going to outproduce them. And it's just like in the Bible, they said the Egyptians feared the Israelites because they was overpopulated them. That's why they don't want to let all these darker skinned countries in darker skinned people into the country, but they'll let the white people in so they can bring the white population with them. It ain't because they care so much about them. They just trying to build the white race back up. So, Tama, what you're saying, that's why I agree with you what you're saying, but it's hard at the same time that to not love who you love. But we at war right now. And the war is who gonna outpopulate who and who gonna get that money.
Let's see what the niece, what she say. She said, "Shit, they already blown computer chips in their head. They know how to work technology better than any of us. Yeah, a lot of these kids do. Like these kids these kids come out the womb knowing how to work laptops and tablets and cell phones, and man."
There's some kids that can look at your phone and know your damn passcode.
Right. And since they so adapt at it, we got to start teaching them coding. You understand what I'm saying? That's why them NFTs and all that metaverse, that's what all that stuff is about. They can take you to the next level. We dinosaurs.
No, we definitely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we got to teach the youth, though.
Yeah.
That's why I bought my grandson some physics books for babies.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, where did you get them from?
It was on Amazon. I'm like, shit, they if they can learn computer technology and all that type of stuff as babies, shit, then maybe we need to start teaching them earlier than we may think that they not understanding, but maybe they are.
Right.
Shit.
And that's the
I
best
told
time
them read him these physics books. Shit.
They say
and
kids learn more before
sponge.
They say a kid learn more before he's 5 than he ever learned when he was grown.
Right.
Yeah, because I mean that's all they are. They like sponges. They soak up everything.
Mm-hmm.
But then you know us. We want to play Young Jeezy and all that shit in front of them, and little motherfuckers want to rap all damn day. And yeah, he gonna be a rapper.
But what the Pop say? He said it a long time ago. We don't need no more rappers. We need some lawyers and some doctors.
Right.
You know. I agree with that.
Some is gonna be on our side, not like Clarence Thomas.
You know, I remember the very first time I heard about Clarence Thomas when he was getting on the Supreme Court. And and I remember the woman, they said that I remember they said something about they ain't funny, but they like pubic hair on a pop can or some shit. That he was harassing the black woman.
Yep.
And I remember just thinking, like, wow, like, is he somebody we supposed to be proud of, or somebody we gonna look at 20 years and be like, oh, fuck him?
Mm-hmm.
I got my answer. Fuck him. Shit.
Right. I know, right? I wait to see it.
I mean, but because I was still young, and I'm like, okay, we grew up like, okay, yeah, we had Hatchet. I mean, and that was always crazy to me that we grew up in Gary, but we pretty much knew more about Chicago news and all that shit. You know, so when remember when Harold Washington became mayor, it was just like everybody was just ecstatic, just like, oh, fine. Who he be? Was it James Burns? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was James Burns, and for them, and like I said, as a kid, I really didn't. I mean, I really didn't think about politics like that. So when they was like he came up dead, I was just like, well, damn, people die. But the way they was like, nah, somebody killed him.
Yep.
Conspiracy.
I mean, like I said, I was young back then. I didn't even think about it. I mean, I'm like, okay, he look kind of old, so I thought everybody think that he couldn't have died. But I didn't know. Like I said at the time, I didn't know the type of moves he was trying to make. So I mean, you know, and then
against gold, you got.
All right, but then, like I said, then that's when after he died, that's when Clarence Thomas. So I'm like, okay, maybe he's the next, the next hope for us. Shit.
Hell no.
Shit. Like, dang. And the only reason I thought about that because I just heard somebody yell out Clarence Thomas' name.
Yeah.
But you know what? He was who he was. And one thing I think I heard today is, everybody is always, why do we always got to be the ones who have to, well, no, if they're talking crazy to us, we have to talk intelligently. We can't, we can't talk crazy back to them. We can't, it's almost like we got to be the Martin Luther King. You know what I mean? We got to keep the peace. We got to show them that we better than what they think we are and all this. Why we can't act crazy and maybe they'll leave us the fuck alone? Why is it that we always got to be the peaceful ones, but they, all I feel like that does is fuel their motivation because they feel like, okay, well, they ain't gonna do nothing, so we're gonna do even more. We're gonna do even more.
You know why? Because I'm gonna just say this: we don't all act crazy together. See, you get 10 of us that's gonna act crazy, but it's 100 of us. Well, let's take. Now we all acted crazy, like you said. If we all act crazy together, oh yeah, they leave us the fuck alone. But see, we don't all act crazy together. Like, say for instance, you say what now?
Let me tell you about them white folks, man. Them white folks blow this mug up before they lose anything. They'll blow this whole damn planet up. You hear me? That's one thing I learned about white people being in the military. Before they lose it all for real, they'll blow everything up. They can't take that. Because they in fear that we gonna do to them what they did to us. But that's not in our nature. It's in some of our nature to get back, but they would blow this mug up first.
What Buddy say back in the day? What's a white dude's favorite line? Over my dead body.
Exactly.
Right.
And they mean that.
They mean
now,
that
shit. Wrong, there's ways you can have resistance, but like that, straight up, we don't go to war. Nah, we'll never win.
Not yet, anyway. I saw something that I see this little white boy, and he told the girl, "Now go over there and finish picking my cotton." And she took her lunch tray and she smacked the shit out of his ass. Now at that point, I felt like I don't give a damn if you was the nerdiest little motherfucker in that school. If you was black, y'all should have just wore his ass out. I guarantee now it went viral. So in that school, it's probably like, oh my God, that it went viral. We gotta put a lid on this. But had it not,
Right.
I'm telling you, if everybody in that school would have got up and got the whooping ass, they'd be like, you know what? We're not gonna say that shit no more.
Right.
Hey, fam. You remember when Parliament came out that song, Chocolate City?
Mm-hmm.
And you remember the cities that he named in that movie, in that song?
Yeah.
Atlanta, Detroit, Gary, Newark, New Jersey, Oakland. All them cities is doing exactly what you were saying. Every last one of them cities did exactly what you said now. But what's the state of every last one of them cities?
Good point.
Except for Atlanta.
Good point.
And Atlanta, the only thing that's with Atlanta, and no disrespect to you little lady, but Atlanta has a predominantly male gay population. So at the end of the day, they look at it like, you're not a threat no more. We can let you live your lifestyle because everybody's going to try to mimic your lifestyle. And you're going to have a bunch of children around here not produced anymore because they all live in this lifestyle. You get what I'm saying? But every last one of them cities who felt that way, it took them about 20, 30 years, but they wiped that power away from them.
Okay.
Water it down as much as possible.
Hey y'all, I gotta talk to my baby, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all, man.
All right.
Show, man.
Appreciate you being on. I guess that's an interesting point. They did wipe them motherfucking cities out.
Well, us mixed breeds, they keep mixing us in with the white people. Then, you know, we got some of their genes too.
Right.
Oh yeah. I really feel that's
crazy.
I really feel that's where Alzheimer's came from. I really do feel that's where Alzheimer's came from. How you say it? Alzheimer's. I really feel Alzheimer's. Yeah, I really feel that's where they came from. Because one thing I know about a lot of black people don't forget shit.
Nah, we don't.
I don't care how much weed you smoke, how much brain damage you got. If you did something bogus to a motherfucker, he gonna remember your name forever.
Yeah, you right. You all right about that. Cause I can remember motherfuckers that did something to me in the third grade.
Him and black folks gonna hold a grudge. Black motherfucker gonna remember a grudge.
And you know what? Now that I think about it, I don't know if it's just that I got a good memory or I just hold a grudge for so fucking long. That just make me not forget.
I know old motherfuckers at nursing homes that seen the white dude walked in that motherfucker fired on his head. I remember you called me a nigga in the 6th grade.
Right.
Hey man.
That's that son of a bitch, Willie Earl right there. That's Willie Earl right there. Who?
You gotta be.
Hey. Hey, you right. You right about that one.
All right, on another note, man, can I ask y'all a question?
Go ahead.
Who is allowed at a child's graduation?
Who's allowed?
How old is the child?
Who is allowed at a child's graduation?
How old is the child?
18.
This a high school graduation. Okay.
I mean, so what? So you said like if they got a limited amount of tickets?
Yes.
Well,
Parents, grandparents.
I guess mom and dad will be first. Siblings. And I mean, if it's enough tickets, grandparents. And I mean, after that, I mean, you know, you kind of, if you got something left, you can divvy something out. But I think that's the one I'm looking at it as.
Okay. Okay. Just curious. Just curious.
But you ain't getting no ticket.
All right. It ain't about that. It's just about common sense shit.
Mm.
Well, I was told one time I wasn't gonna get a ticket. Like, he ain't getting no ticket. I don't get no ticket. She ain't showing up. Y'all just gonna be sitting that motherfucker. We gonna be at motherfucking shit Applebee's somewhere getting a platter or something. I'm not coming. Ain't nobody. Y'all just wasting y'all time. But now hold on. Now, I got a question. What if you got the father and the stepfather? Stepfather been predominantly good in the kid's life. Father been mediocre. I mean, he's been there, but he ain't been there to the capacity that he should have been or he could have been, but he's been there. Who gets the ticket? Who gets the ticket?
The biological daddy.
The biological dad gets the ticket. Okay.
No matter what. That's non-negotiable.
Now, wait a minute. I wouldn't say that because some people I didn't see that not get a ticket before.
Oh, yeah. I've seen a few dads not get a ticket.
All right.
But it ain't nobody's place to tell a man that it don't matter if you ain't been there. You gave that motherfucker life.
And with that being said, you know you gave him life. Well, why wasn't you there to take care of him?
The same reason why a lot of other brothers. I mean, sometimes we ain't gonna sit here and say people don't motherfucking fall out with their baby mom.
Okay, now the questions that my thing is what I said is that he was mediocre at best. I mean, he wasn't the perfect dad. He did a lot of, you know, he was an absentee at times. I mean, he hit and miss. But now the stepdad was an intricate part of his life. He took up the slack when you wasn't there.
Now, if that's the case, that's the case.
All right. Then
but who's to say? See, I always go back to how was the relationship between the mama? What was going on in the kids' ear to make the situation worse than what they had to be?
Well, I mean, you know what, dog? I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm a firm believer that I don't give a fuck what she do. You're not fit to take me from my kids. I mean, you can try your best, court. Hey, and if we got to go to court 100 times, we just got to go to court 100 times. I'm not finna sit there. I'm not gonna ever let you take, and I would never let you do that because situations like that. Well, Dad, you wasn't there. I wasn't there because your mama was tripping. A kid don't understand that.
A kid never do. But have you ever heard of parental alienation?
I've heard people say that they can't see the kid, but in the term you just put it, no, I haven't.
But technically, that's illegal.
Right. So how can you I mean, how can somebody do that to you?
Okay, say this. Say you go to say you sit back and say it's in the best interest since you the paternal parent. I sacrifice X, Y, Z because I ain't where I'm at right now in my life, right?
Okay,
But
now I need to know what XYZ is. You giving up your parental rights?
Okay, say you go to child support court. They make her the parental parent. They put you on child support.
In most cases, they do.
But they take away your rights.
They take away your parental rights?
I've never heard of that before.
They take away your parental rights.
If they take away your parental rights, then you don't pay child support. So
right. So why would you pay child support if they just took away your parental rights?
Oh shit.
I've never heard it before, man. And I've never heard it once.
No, it does. No,
I've never heard it once, and I've been to court for every time. I've had baby mamas jump up and say, "I don't want him to see her," and it ain't up to you.
It happens all the time.
Whoever was within there and acted a complete and utter fool.
Not even acting the fool. I've seen cases where I've seen a stand-up dude just not show up to court and they strip him.
Now, if you just talk about custody, I think you just talking about he lost.
No, I'm talking about parental rights. No visitation, no nothing.
That's not losing your losing your parental rights as a parent.
Right. Listen to me, bro.
That's not that just means you lost custody of the child.
I hear what you saying. I hear what you saying. I hear what you saying, Peaceful. But the thing is, all you have to do is file a motion and go back to court. That's it.
I'm saying, and that's understood. But
the biggest problem is that us as black men, we don't do it. We want to stay out of the courts. We don't want the courts in on our business. We don't want to do this. We don't want to do that when it's dealing with the courts. And that's what fucks us over all the time.
True. Now, what happens when you say, all right, cool, I want to see my kids? No, you can't see your kids.
That's why you got that's why you got days. You got weekends.
Okay, but then who says if every time you schedule something for the kids, they just miraculously got something to do?
Oh, that's when you pull out your paper and you call the police and you show them your paper and you tell them this is scheduled for what's good, Kodak. You show the paper and they can't do shit but let them go with you. And we'll tell them you either get them here or you're gonna face charges.
Okay.
Oh, I've been down that road.
What's to say if your child has been manipulated to the core?
Shit, you better get your damn child into your house and break this whole situation down. Shit, that happens. Shit, you think, man, I done had my kids say some of everything to me.
But what happens when you say, you tell them you break down the whole science of the situation?
Okay.
I'm talking about the whole science of the situation.
Okay.
And then you tell them whatever parent is on bullshit.
I mean, you keep, and if it don't work that time, you keep going. You don't give up.
You never give up, but do you honestly expect a child to go against the person that they see feeding them.
Hell no, hell no, not right away. But you know what? Here's the thing.
Right at that moment, they might not.
Here's the thing. If what your words say are true, now that kid might not see it that day, they might not see it that week, might not even see it that year. But if you a stand-up motherfucker, believe it or not, your kids will see that. But if you let the motherfucker play a game with you and you start playing that same game, yeah, your kids got the right to say fuck you. You're not gonna always run into people that's gonna be cool. You're not gonna always run into people that's gonna be okay. You know, we gonna co-parent. You're gonna run into some bitch ass motherfuckers, whether male or female, and I'm talking to both sides. And you got to be the bigger person. Man, in a relationship like that, somebody always got to be the bigger person, and you got to be able to. And if it's you, then if you're gonna start out being the bigger person, you end it with being the bigger person. And trust me when I tell you, your kid will see it. Your kid will see, oh, wait a minute, man. You know, if you got a halfway intelligent kid, he or she gonna put the pieces together like this ain't making sense. Well, mama said ain't making sense. Well, daddy said ain't making sense. But when you step back and say whatever's whatever, dog, you lost your own war.
You did. But when you sit back and you say, when you tell your kid, you be like, hey, man, I love you. That's non-negotiable. So I'm telling you right now, you'll have more privilege with me than anybody ever will. I don't need no third parties orchestrating our conversation because you at the age now where you can communicate to me.
But I mean, here's the thing: if y'all ain't been communicating with, if he or she ain't been communicating with you, what make you think she gonna trust you now? But see, like I said, if you get to that point where they get to that age where they can communicate, then it's like, oh, you know what? You know, he wasn't lying. You know, I'm gonna tell you, man, my oldest daughter, I think she was 14, dog. She was like, hey, Daddy, for now on, any money that I got, any money that you're gonna give us, put it in my hand. Put it in my hand. I said, wow. I said, why you say that? Man, like she like, okay, I'm seeing Daddy paying for this. I'm seeing Daddy get the money up, but we not getting it. I didn't get what I wanted, but he gave up the money. Now, hey, I remember one incident where she said, well, I had to pay the DIPSCO. The DIPSCO had to get paid. You know, and I'm looking like, that ain't what I gave you that money for. You know, well, my DIPSCO had to get paid. I had to pay my DIPSCO, blah, 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 blah. So now I had to circle back around and give her some more money so she could get her stuff because I felt like, you know what? I'm still going to go back and I'm going to go buy your gym shoes because that was your fault. You know what I'm saying? And my daughter started seeing that. So now it's like, hey, either you take me or just put the money in my hand. Don't give my money to her no more.
Exactly. I understand what you're going for.
But see, it wasn't always like that. It wasn't always like that. But I had to keep going. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people as parents, oh, I'm not kissing no kid's ass. It's not kissing your kid's ass. Hey, you fucked around, you laid down with this motherfucker and had a baby with this crazy motherfucker. Now you got to deal with the consequences.
Right. Oh, I so get so tired of people saying that like kids owe us something. Our kids do not owe us because we brought them into the world. We did that. We owe, you know what they owe us? They owe us respect. they owe us, you know, and that's from us giving them the love that they need, not
Okay,
just because.
So let me ask you this question: if a kid tell you, now this for the men in here, if your child told you, "I don't respect you, but can you go get me a car?"
Wait a minute. How old is this kid?
An 18-year-old kid tell you, "I don't respect you, but can you go get me a car?"
You 18 years old. You gonna tell me you don't respect me?
But can you go get me a car?
No, if you don't respect
Hell no.
you can't ask nobody for something that you know.
But you know what though?
Get that yourself in.
You know what? But here's the thing. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, dog. I'm gonna be God honest with you. With my kids, I wish the fuck you would. I wish the fuck you would ask me, tell me some shit like that, and then turn around and say, "Can you go get me a car?"
In the same breath.
In the same breath.
But now, you know what? And I wouldn't bat an eyelash. I wouldn't think twice about it. And I might tell him, fuck you, punk. But I'm saying this because I know what the fuck I did for you. I know I bent over backwards ever since the day you came out this womb. I know what I've done for you. I know. Ain't no reason the hell you supposed to be fixing your mouth to tell me you don't respect me. Ain't no motherfucking way.
Oh, okay.
I know that.
Okay.
But now, if I'm a motherfucker that been mediocre at best, or I'm a motherfucker that just ain't been there, or I let her dictate the situation, and I know I did, nah, man, you gotta talk. We gotta chop it up. We gotta have a grown folks conversation.
And that's the point that I get. That's the point that I get to. That's the point that I got to where it was like, now that happened previously.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you know, and to be honest with you, it was like, you really feel entitled to me just supposed to just eat shit and just take it. And you know how you realize that it's still your child and you can say some shit. You know, if you say some shit right now, all you doing is reinforcing what another motherfucker had told them.
Yeah, you know, like I said, man, I honestly, you know, I mean, I know what I did for my kids, but I didn't have my kids get smart and say shit to me that I know that's been seeds that been planted in their head by their mother. I know that. You know what I'm saying? So even with that, the seeds that I know's been planted, because you saying shit that you don't even know nothing about. You saying shit you don't have a clue about, but you saying shit, you know, it's your mouth moving, but it's your mother's words. You know, and even with that, you gotta handle that kind of differently. Because you know, I mean, if you do the math, like, I don't fuck you, there's no way there's no way possible you even know this situation. You was 2 years old. How the fuck you know about this, that number? You know, or they bring up some shit that you know that was strictly between you and the mama. This is a conversation you and the mama had, but your kid bring it up. You know that they manipulate their mind.
Of course.
But now you just up and like, oh fuck you, I don't like you. Yeah, all right.
But you'll sit back. But see, when you sit back and you try to tell the kid, your mouth writing checks your ass can't cash.
Well, now you got to ask yourself, shit, have you been there to cash your checks? And if you have, then you can say that. But if if your checks been bouncing, you got to know what's coming.
Ain't none of my checks bounce.
You know what I mean. I don't mean just it like I said, it ain't always about money. I mean, and I'm not talking about you per se. I'm just saying, if I was supposed to, I wasn't spending time with the kid. I wasn't doing what I was supposed to as far as a father with this kid. Because some people just throw money and think that's what they supposed to do. Like, I gave you everything in the world that you wanted. But this kid,
money ain't the issue.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you this: money was never the issue. Like the one thing that's fucked up about child support is
you gotta pay it.
Is you regardless if you gotta pay it or not, it kind of put a ceiling on what you can do for your kids.
No, it don't. No, it don't.
Like,
no, it don't. No, it don't. Not at all, man.
Not the ceiling, but it's like I ain't gonna say a ceiling. It's like somebody telling you the price for your kid.
Nah, look here. I'm gonna tell you like this, and I'm gonna keep it 100, man. The child support that I had to pay, that wasn't enough, man. I mean, granted, it did it in my pocket, but that wasn't enough to keep it to raise a child. So, you know what I'm saying? A lot of brothers got to get over the fact that, oh, I'm not giving that bitch a dime. Man, give that girl that fucking money, man. And then you're gonna have to to keep it 100, you're gonna have to shell out some more money because shit, your baby gonna want more shit. So go on, get that money up, man.
But the catch be, we all adults.
Okay.
If you're an adult, it's a difference in adulting as two different human beings and adulting with children. Now, room, shelter, board, all that, are those not basic adulting skills?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you got a kid. That's what you got to give them: room, shelter, board. Okay.
Okay. You got a kid. That's what you got to give.
Well, that's what y'all got to give them.
That's what y'all got to give.
Right.
But a lot of, not all women, but a lot of women feel like, since I had a baby by this dude, I'm supposed to live the same exact lifestyle that he lived.
I've heard that before.
Now,
then I mean, you need to go work where I work at. I'm lay some of this motherfucking towel there. You get the same check I get.
If you tell me, hey, my rent, we all know rent ain't cheap around this motherfucker. But if you tell me my rent $1,900,
you need to move.
My NIPS, you need to move. My NIPS go $850. Okay. What the fuck you mean? What you telling me for? I ain't tell you your ass to move to Crown Point. And if you paying $1,800 fucking rent, you need to be paying a fucking mortgage. Why the fuck is you renting?
Look here. Here's a better solution. If you can't deal with this right now, let them come live with me until you get it back on your feet.
And that be the catch that a prideful person won't give you.
That's true.
Because then it negates every falsehood that you said about that person. Because now you ain't in control of the tactic that you use to give you control.
But now, if you already in the court system and y'all already been to court, and she can't keep up with her expenses, and you about to find your kid outside sitting in the grass, you need to go to court and let them know, hey, my kid's outside. I need them with me. If she can't find proper housing, they need to come stay with me.
So, and then you tell, but see,
you got more rights than what you think. You got more rights than what you think. All you gotta do is go to court.
But the catch is, but this is the catch that I'm trying to get you to understand. The only thing them child see is mama. Them children see is mama struggling. And they don't know why mama's struggling. They assume that mama's struggling because of you.
Well, sometimes it be. Once you get the kids over there, that's when you talk to them. Well, right, shit.
But then when they come over and they see how you doing and how you living, and it go against everything they've been fucking told.
And that's why you break it and you tell them how you did it. I mean, you show them. You show them that you get up and go to work every morning. Because apparently if mom, you show them that, I mean, they gonna see, well, damn, daddy get up and go to work every morning. Mama sit here and watch TV or talking on the phone.
But then some, I understand what you're saying, but I also feel that it's a sad day and time when somebody will try to rub their bitterness and resentment towards you off on your kids.
Shit, that's the way the world works, man. Come on. And like I said, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Give up? You gonna get mad and give up, or you gonna keep trying to prove? Either you gonna keep proving your point to show your kids, or you gonna give up and then the kids gonna be better.
Giving up was never an option.
Right. So you keep going. Them kids will see it, dog, one day. You might not, like I said, they might not see it when they 15, 16, 17, and they might not see it when they're 18. But in time, them kids will see it. See, you gotta play the long game.
Yeah. The long ball.
Yeah, you can't, that's your goal. If that's the situation that you in, that's your aim right there. I'm gonna play the long game. I'm gonna win in the end. No matter how much I've been down this whole game, I'm gonna win in the end.
Seconds.
That's the ultimate hustle.
Well, then there you go. That's all you got to do. Trust me, you talking to some motherfucking child support vets. Shit, I don't think between me and time, I don't think it ain't been a motherfucking a situation.
Seconds.
We ain't been in that motherfucker over collectively.
And I say, but when you try to explain, like my biggest concern was talking to my kids. Like my kids do got different personalities.
Wonder where that came from.
You can see you. you see. You know how you see you.
Oh, trust me, I know.
And then you'll sit back and be like, look, I ain't got I ain't in rich. I keep it a buck. I ain't in rich. I'm Class A certified.
10 seconds.
Endorsements.
Dude.
Trust me, them checks ain't cheap.
I got 4 daughters that act just with a mouth just like mine. I already know. And that's the thing, they girls. So You can't just turn around and bust them upside their damn head, tell them or punch them in the chest.
Exactly.
You gotta finesse this situation. Dude, trust,
You
dude.
know, like, man,
I told him, I tell him all the time, I wish you was a girl. I wish you was a boy for 5 minutes. Why? I'll fuck you up. If you was a boy for 5 minutes, I'll fuck your ass up.
so when you sit back, like my biggest goal is at the end of the day, the college phase. When it ain't no, hey, you on your own out here. Let's see how that phone rings.
Oh shit, dog. Trust me. I got 2 in college now. I already know. You preaching to the choir, bro.
I hear you.
And here's the thing: that phone ain't gonna add. If you a good father, that phone ain't gonna never stop ringing. Never. It might not ring as often, but it ain't gonna never stop ringing. And sometimes you actually, believe it or not, sometimes you actually gonna get to the point where you look forward to the call.
No.
He like, oh, I ain't got that yet.
I ain't got that yet.
Oh, dog, preach to the choir. I know. I see that phone ring. What the fuck? Now I'm like, yo, what up?
I look forward to the day that the phone call is from somebody who asking for themselves and not asking.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's a whole different. And you know what? Really feel good when you can say, nope, I ain't got it. Nope, I ain't got it. And you ain't got to be like, oh my God, what the fuck? Nope, I ain't got it. Call me next week. I might have it next week.
So
it gets greater later, like the D said. It gets greater later, dog.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting on the later.
Yeah, well, it's coming, bro. Just don't, like I said, just keep it going, keep doing what you're doing. It's gonna happen. Shit, man, we gotta get the fuck out of here. We done went over as usual. So
all right, it's a pleasure talking to y'all, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for the last minute wisdom.
No problem.
Last minute pep talk. I appreciate that.
All right, bro. You know, hey, us men gotta stick together too.
Iron sharpen iron. Appreciate it.
There you go.
DMO, enjoy your night.
Yeah, I'm light skinned, so I heard you don't like that. So
proper light skin.
All right, Dave, what you got for us?
Hey, it was a good show. Good talking with y'all like always. I'll be back next week.
That's what's up. Tyler, where you at, baby?
Hey, thank everybody for calling. Thank everybody for listening to us on the internet. Peace, love, happy, God bless. Good night. Everybody stay safe.
All right, we out this bitch.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.